Hello friends, and welcome to Fishcraft. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you so very much. I've recently been obsessed with two things: fishing and plants. Now this is partially due to the fact that I've been enjoying a new show recently called Apothecary Diaries, but mostly it's just because I just think plants are cool. So I've made this big old apothecary here to store all of my herbal goods, and also fish, because storage is hard to come by. And I really love this place. It's beautiful, and it feels very cozy. However, the outside of it's a bit lacking. Doesn't really have anything on it, which is my goal in today's video, to try and maybe add some form of a little courtyard in the front here. The only issue though is I don't really know how to do this. I've never made a courtyard before, but I guess I'll be doing my very best. So first things first is I know that if this is going to be a courtyard, surely the first thing you'd need is a big old entrance, right? So I've just spent the past 2 days inside my creative world trying to come up with a design, and I'm very happy with how it came out. The only issue though is we need a bunch of dark prismarine, which is fine considering I do have a whole bunch of ink sacs that I got from fishing. I do have 216,000 fish caught after all. So after I gathered just about every single ink sac I own, I went to the nearest monument and I gathered as much prismarine as my inventory could hold. And I'll be honest, it's not very much. All my shulker boxes are full of fish and I don't want to get rid of them right now. Here's a fun fact for you. The only way to get dark prismarine for me is to actually mine it through the ocean monuments, because I'm a passive player, right? And I really don't like hurting the guardians. So if I can avoid any of this, I will. And I also just turned all of my ink sacs into black dye, because I completely forgot that you can't make dark prismarine using prismarine and just black dye. So we've got this now, I guess. Here's another fun fact. Did you know that each ocean monument only spawns with 335 dark prismarine? So I had to go to 2 of them to get this much, which is fine, I suppose. I do enjoy a good little adventure, especially if it involves doing all kinds of building and stuff, which I'm super excited for. These dark prismarines look really good when you put them next to some other darker colors, like the stripped dark oak, or maybe even like red tones. I'm really excited. Speaking of stripped dark oak and red tones, those are the 2 resources I need to go and gather next. So we gotta go get a whole bunch of dark oak, and then we gotta go to the mangrove swamp, and we gotta go get some mangrove wood, and all the other woods in between, of course, like the regular oak wood, and maybe some stripped spruce as well. I don't think we'll be needing any acacia for this. Well, actually, never mind. We'll need a little bit of acacia, but that's just to fix up the dock later on. And here we are, the beautiful mangrove swamp and my little frog village I forgot about. Whoopsie. It would appear that I have a whole lot more resources here than I originally thought, that I've completely forgot about, and that there's a frog above my head. It seems I've got a lot of resources in here, but for the spirit of the video, I'm going to pretend that I don't have any resources, and we're just gonna restart. So we're gonna go and we're gonna gather some mangrove. I really only just needed a couple stacks, honestly. I don't know why I went all the way out here for that. I just need to make a bunch of trapdoors and that's it. So we're gonna go back down. I still need to go get a bunch of oak and stuff. Tiny little fishing break. Then we immediately went straight into chopping down a whole bunch of the dark oak wood, because out of everything, I'm pretty sure this is the thing we're gonna be needing the most out of, with I think the stripped spruce being the runner-up, of course. I really don't know why I always build so resource intensive. I never build these things sparingly. I also completely forgot how many spruce trapdoors I'll be needing for this, so I had to gather some more spruce. What a shocker. And tiny little fishing break. All right, so now that we've got the spruce and the dark oak out of the way, I think the last couple things we're going to be needing is a whole bunch of more oak wood and just the tiniest little bit of some acacia logs, because once I build this giant gate here, there's going to be a piece of the dock that's not going to line up properly with it, and I want everything to be very symmetrical over there, so I need it to be shifted over a little bit. So we're gonna get a little bit of acacia so we can fix the railing, and we'll shift the whole dock over just a little bit. I don't know why I want to do this, but it just feels like it has to line up properly. You'll see what I mean. All right, let's get to chopping really quick. And that is all the wood all chopped down and stuff. And oh my goodness, it's the apocalypse. No, there's so many creepers. I keep on having to come over here and then leave and then come back so that I don't get exploded whenever I'm not paying attention. It's okay. They hopefully are gone now. Yeah, okay, that's pretty easy. They just despawn really quickly. All right, so here's my plan. Now that I've got all the different wood types, I'm going to be putting a giant a giant fence slash like gate entrance. I'm pretty sure about right here, which is going to be lined up with the front door. So it's going to have 2 giant towers sticking out the side with a big like a big swing gate open entrance. I don't really know what these things are called exactly, but this is what I was talking about with the dock, by the way, not being symmetrical with the door. This block we're on here is lined up with the door, and this is not. The entrance needs to be going like here and I think here. So then this is the middle block of the walkway that leads out. We do also need to add a whole bunch of different palm trees here, which I'm very excited for because I got some new palm tree designs. We've got these cool ones behind us, which are very great, and I love them, and they're beautiful, and I've used them a lot. There's some in the back over there. Oh, we got old palm trees over here. They look like spiders. I don't like these so much, but I feel like we've upgraded these ones. So in my creative world, I added some mangrove roots at the bottom, and it looks really good. It kind of makes it look like the dead leaves that are usually hanging off the bottom of the palm trees. I also added a little bit more texturing, like some mangrove logs and such on the bottom, and I think a little bit of soul soil at the very top, but that's too much talking already. So we're gonna really quickly just build up these gates and put down some palm trees so I can show you what all I have in mind in terms for the perimeter or whatever. So let's get into this. Boop. And the big old time lapse. We are stood in front of this beautiful gate and it feels so beautiful. Like I genuinely, I am very, very rarely proud of of buildings that I make and stuff, but this one, I don't know, it just feels very cozy. It must be the dark prismarine. I hardly ever build out of this stuff. Like I said earlier, the darker tones, it just goes really good with this. And the red ones, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It also is raining, which is good. We could do we'll do some fishing after this as well. So here's the dock thing. I went and fixed it. I lined it up properly with the door. Uh-oh, there's monsters. We lined it up properly with the door, which I definitely think makes it feel a whole lot better because I wanted there to be like an entrance to the entrance, right? So if you're wandering around on this dock here, right, you're going through the wharf and you're trying to make it over to the gate and stuff, you're gonna go inside the apothecary, or maybe even you just parked your boat over here. So this is the way you'd get off of the wharf, and for the people who are rebellious, they take this one right here, and you can see it's the path most walked or whatever because the dirt's all dead. And I even added a tiny little pathway across the old catfish area where we used to have the brown llama stand. I forget what they're called. I called them brown carpet colored llama, something like that. I went through, I added a little tiny garden filled with all kinds of colors so that we've got something to look at while we're walking through. Why are there so many monsters over here? Will you stop it? I'm very happy with this. I genuinely, I am very proud of this gate. I kind of feel like I cooked on it, right? Did I cook on this? I don't think I've used that word before. Right. The inside, however, is still it's still completely empty. In fact, there's not a single thing over here. And for the first time probably ever in the history of my recording in this world, I might actually have to take something down, which feels terrible, honestly. So this little building right here called the Bees and Barley, I made, I'm pretty sure, in my second episode or so, and I love it. All right, I love it a lot. It's one of my favorite buildings here because it's got such a nostalgia feel to it, or nostalgic, right? And it's got a cute little thing. It's got a cute little bee here. It also connects up the pumpkin patch, but it is very, very much in the way of some future bigger plans that I have here. So I very unfortunately am gonna have to tear it down. The only thing though is I don't know if I should tear it down and maybe relocate it, or do I just tear it down and then just hold it in my heart and then move on. Either way, I'm very happy. And the next bit of business we have to do over here is we're going to be kind of making an enclosure of the sorts. So that's why this building is in the way, is we need to have a fence that wraps all the way around here to the back of the building, and then from this side of the watchtower gate all the way around over here to the side of the medical ward of the apothecary, which definitely sounded a lot easier than it originally was. I had no idea how to make fences or walls or anything. That actually is one of the things I've been struggling with quite a bit in my survival worlds, is making gated in areas. So I didn't really know what to do here, so I ended up just going with a more medieval style in comparison to the very clear style that this is. It's definitely different, but I do think it also matches in the color palette. So we're gonna see if we can get that done quickly. I don't know why I just recorded so much in the rain with the thunder. This YouTube compression is gonna be terrible. I'm so sorry. Okay, back to the video. Oh my goodness, I just had a really good idea. Okay, I have no idea why or how I didn't think of this sooner. I'm so sorry. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this building right here, the bees and barley. We're gonna tear it down, and instead of removing it and then just completely forgetting about it, we're going to move it to the confines of the Apothecary courtyard. So I originally already had plans to make the giant fence wrapping all the way around to the side of the medical ward here, right? And then on the inside of the fence, there's going to be smaller buildings where people live, and I don't know, there's cats and stuff running around. So I figured, you know, I may as well put in the the bees and barley, right? I mean, it does have a bunch to do with like apothecary related stuff, right? A bunch of honey and like soothing sore throats and such, and bees. Surely that's all plant related. I don't know why I would just tear it down and never see it again. This is such a good idea. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna build up this fence, and then we are going to relocate the bees and barley to the confines of the catfish courtyard. Yeah, this is gonna work out great. Oh, and all the bees get to live here too. Just was moving them all into their little nests and stuff. I even put some inside the apothecary so that I can get some bees floating around. I left my door open. All right, so let's very quickly get this gate all made, which definitely shouldn't be an issue. I mean, we do have all the resources and stuff. Let's just really quickly, let's just get straight into having this thing completely finished. And it definitely hasn't been it definitely hasn't been many hours. No, nothing at all like that. Definitely didn't realize I did not have any warped wood this entire time, so I had to go to the nether. But that, of course, is all of the boring stuff. And I cannot be happier with how this little tiny little wall came out. Look at it. It's so beautiful. This is one of the coziest builds I have ever made, probably in my entire life. And I love it so much. It's so apothecary. I love it so much. And we even got little Mau Mau behind us over there. There's a little meow meow. Except this one does not like poison. In fact, it doesn't like anything. Sorry, meow meow. I'll let you do your thing. There also is one more thing here I added, which is this little tiny, like, waterway thing. All right, so I figured since we're right next to an apothecary, right, there probably is going to be a very high demand for a source of water, right? Which is great because we live next to the ocean. But I thought maybe it would make a little bit more sense for there to be like a tiny little creek, a little runoff, tiny little stream of water that they could use for their poultices and such to to make their potions and all that. I don't know. I just thought it was really cool. So I added a little tiny little mine shaft, but for water. I don't know how to explain that, but I quite like it. It also feels very ominous. Ooh. Oh, that's right. I forgot to show you. I have a tiny little spot over here in the front of the building where I can do my tiny little fishing. I know I could do it in the ocean, but we need to make little places for relaxing and stuff. So we've got this little tiny little mud pond and a bench. It's perfect. This is the best place in the entire apothecary, if you ask me. This feels like a park. Honestly, this is so relaxing. Oh, I love it so much. Oh wait, I just realized my shaders are on. Oh no, I had the shaders on the whole time. Sorry, I have them toggled back and forth all the time so that I can check if a building looks good with just shaders on or if it looks good actually. And I can say wholeheartedly that this building looks good either way, so I'm very happy. Look at this, it's beautiful. Look at this big old gate. Hold on, let's get a view from it from free cam. Right, so here's the two watchtowers. We've got the big main entrance. We've got two giant swinging doors with the handles and such, and then the big old fence that wraps all the way around to the sides of the apothecary. And absolutely the hardest part of all this was getting the warped wood. I don't like going to the nether anymore. Moving on. Very next thing we need to do is get this kitty cat over to the apothecary, because this is going to be one special kitty. They're going to be one of the medicinal helpers, I suppose, for carrying all the plants and stuff back and forth for storage. And their name is Ginger. Such a cute little name for such a cute little orange car. Look at him. Ginger, that's such a good name. So far inside of the apothecary, we have an ocelot named Meow Meow, and now we have an orange cat named Ginger. This is such a cute little team. I just wish I knew what apothecary cats do, I guess. So we're gonna assign them the honorary role of official master herb planter cat. Yes. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but we're keeping it. That's their name. Oh, I forgot a pillar. No. There we go. Like it never happened. Come along, Ginger Root. We've got some apothecary stuff to do. Where should I put Ginger at? I feel like inside the apothecary, right? Or maybe Oh, goodness. Okay. Definitely inside the apothecary. We're going in. Let's see. Where can we put a kitty cat? I'm gonna say probably on top of the fish is a good spot, right? Surely. Oh, I got you. There we go. They're beautiful. Look at our little ginger root. And there's Meow Meow. And here's Ginger. Oh, I forgot. Oh no. I forgot I need to get them collars. And sticking to the color theme of Ginger, we will give this one a green collar. Meow Meow, on the other hand, does not. They don't. They don't wear collars. They're too wild for that. And ta-da! Oh, they're beautiful. I didn't even realize their eyes were also green. It all comes together. And it's raining! Well, I guess that's okay. I already was in the middle of fishing, so while we're doing some fishing and stuff, I just wanted to say really quickly that I did unfortunately have to reset a couple of the chunks while I was playing because I really wanted a lot of dark prismarine, and all of my local ocean monuments they're pretty much were run dry, and I didn't want to have to keep on discovering new chunks and stuff to make the world size big. So I just reset the chunks that were nearest to me at the ocean monuments and stuff. So I could just farm the dark prismarine. I just wanted to share. There goes the rain. Do 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 do. And next up on our list of chores to do is we need to do a little bit of tidying up of the shoreline here, because as you can see, this currently is just a flat a flat piece of dirt just sitting on top of the water. And this does not look good. So what we're going to do is we're going to push this dirt all the way to the top and connect the disc to the actual floor so that it feels more like a piece of land instead of a floating little disc. And then after that, we are going to be trying to shave down this piece of land right here. See, I've always thought it was good trying to keep the natural landscape of catfish. However, this one is really starting to get in the way, and it really just looks terrible. So I think we're going to do some little bits of terraforming, trying to get this thing completely removed so that we've got much more water space here, which honestly I don't think it'd be too difficult, right? I mean, it's just a bunch of stone and stuff. And oh, okay, well it's all done now. I definitely underestimated how long this would take. I never want to do terraforming again. This is not fun. I feel like maybe I'd enjoy doing terraforming more often if I actually was any good at it. This is awful. Poor landscaping skills aside, I've still got just a couple things I need to do inside the actual apothecary itself, because I've got a couple plants in here that I made in my last Fishcraft video. They're just some little custom little plants. This one's it's got a little cherry log with some skulk on it and the little weeping vines or whatever they're called on the tops. I thought they're really cool. In my brain, they smell kind of like beetroots or like dirt or something. that has nothing to do with anything. Anyway, I've got a lot of these little plants kind of just sprinkled all around the apothecary. For this one example, this one above my head there. We've got one of them here. Looks like a little pineapple. There's a lot of them, and all of them need names. And I asked for some in my last video, and I definitely think I've got some good ones now. So for this one right here, I saw a comment by the Chilling Frog, who suggested to name these Dark Root. And I really like that. The purple and the skulk, I feel like, definitely go really good with that name. So these are officially called the Dark Roots. And there we go. And now we move on to this one. And I think a good name for this one is going to have to be Wormweed, which is suggested to me by Fallowfoot. Oh, that's right. I need to glow ink this one. There we go. And then finally we have Ink Fruit, which was suggested by Cat with Opposable Thumbs. A beautiful name for a beautiful plant. All right, so we've got all the apothecary stuff all finished up, which does of course mean we finally get to go do our fishing and stuff. Oh, this poor zombie died, which is quite exciting to say. It's been a while since I've done just a whole bunch of fishing all at once in a video. The only sad part though is that I've only got I'll say maybe like 3 or 4 hours. 3 or 4 hours to do some fishing, and we're currently at 216,409 fish caught. So let's see what we can catch in just a couple hours. Whoop. And the fishing time lapse. This is probably really weird to come out of a fishing time lapse and still be doing fishing. I've been stuck on MCCI for a while. I tried as best I could to stay away from it, but it's not gone well, obviously, and I'm stuck here. I just got my first ever piece of mythic bait that I've been using on this elusive fish area, and I've not got anything yet. I've just got 3 pieces of bait, so let's see if we can catch anything new. I've been stuck on the first island for so long. Oh, a stone salmon. Oh, that was it. Okay, back to the video. That was a really weird cut to just put straight into the middle of a video. Just some random MCCI fishing. Oh, I guess it's the end of the video, isn't it? All right. So that was about, I'd say, 5.5 hours of fishing I just did, and we got this. We got this many fish. However many fish this is. But we were at 216,000 something rather, and we're currently at 217,986. So for 5.5 hours, I caught maybe 1,800 fish or 1,600 fish. I don't know, something like that. I also did catch a single mending book, and that was it. Unless these are one of them. Nope. Yep, just one mending book, which is, I think that's pretty good for just maybe close to 2,000 fish. I think that's about how many fish it was. Maybe you do the math. I didn't see what it was. And oh my goodness, this apothecary it's so beautiful. I very much am in love with this. I love the flags. I love the big towers. I love the stripped dark oak. It's beautiful. Also, these flags were actually an addition by my brother. So you can thank him for these. That being said, I have, however, unfortunately already run out of time. So I'm gonna go make some coffee, and I thank you all so very much for watching this episode of Fishcraft. I appreciate every single one of you. I appreciate every single one of you, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.